Hi, and welcome along to AFTV. We are here for the starting 11 today. Big game for Arsenal. Arsenal at home to Wolves. If we win the game today, we can go 4 points clear at the top of the table before all of the big guns play tomorrow. So a really, really important game. We've got a panel to discuss it. We've got Lee judges in the building.
How are we doing? You all right?
We've got the other Lee, Gooner Lee. This is the Lee side.
Listen, man.
Right?
Lee side.
The wholesome side over here.
Yeah.
Frank's in the building.
Well, Frank, you
And we've got Laurie right here to discuss the starting 11 today. And I'm going to be really intrigued to see what the starting 11 is today, because the thing that I was thinking about as I was coming to this game, number one, very, very important game. Chance to ram home a bit of advantage before, Liverpool, Man City, etc. play tomorrow. Aston Villa as well. So a chance to ram home a bit of advantage. But also, taking into account that on Tuesday we got a game against Luton away, which not an easy, even though on paper you say we're supposed to win that, but we saw the tough game they gave to Liverpool. Does he rotate today? Or is there a bit of rotation that gets involved with this game? I mean, when you look at the stats around the game, and I was looking at it, Wolves have got a very, very poor record against Arsenal. I think they've lost their last 4 games against us. So, you look on it and you'd say it should be light work. We're unbeaten at home this season. We've got the best defensive record in the league. We've conceded the least amount of goals in the league. There's injuries for Wolves, Ain't Nouri's out. Lamina got suspended. Gomez got suspended in that Fulham game. Really kind of took his toll on them. I don't very much doubt Neto will be back in time. And Wolves have lost their last 2 away games to Fulham and Sheffield United. So you might look on that and say to yourself, should Arsenal rotate it a bit? Or do they go with their strongest possible team, get this done, and then think about the next game when it comes? What were you saying about it, Lee?
Strongest team. Same team as Wednesday. Don't forget,
Same team as Wednesday?
Yeah, there was a couple, I think Tomiyasu and Shinchenko come off at half-time, so they weren't sort of pushed in their roles there. Got Declan Rice off 20-odd minutes to go from the end, so I think Saka and Martinelli stayed on, didn't he? So if there is any one place to be rotated, I would say maybe it's Martinelli for Trossard for this one, just because of the work rate and everything like that. But for me, listen, we've been crying out for a performance like that on Wednesday, free flowing, everything like that. Why mix it up and spoil it now? If we get the job done, like we did on Wednesday, get the job done. I don't think we should be taking Wolves lightly. I think this is going to be a tough game today. Get it done, and then we'll see what happens from Tuesday.
I'm interested to hear you say strongest team. So presumably you want Ramsdale to.
Coming in firing. Listen, what I believe and what I don't now is done. You know what I mean? From that point of view, he said it, he's number one. I think by Ramsdale playing on Saturday and then coming into Wednesday, it was a perfect chance to play Ramsdale again. He didn't. He's played Raya. Raya's Arteta's number one. Whether you agree with that or not, that's how it is. And you've got to back the manager, So Raya in the team, and also I don't think nicking Christmas things off the trees is helping Aaron,
What do you think? Would you go for a bit of rotation, or do you agree with Lee that just go strongest team? Don't underestimate Wolves, and don't underestimate Gary O'Neill. Remember when he came with Bournemouth last year?
Yeah, that's a great point.
We nearly came a cropper in that game.
Yeah, listen, you know what? I can't believe I'm going to say this, but the last time I did this was last season, Brentford at home, and I was like, listen, rest a couple of players. Next game we had was Man City. So ever since then, I've learnt my lesson, because we drew, I think, 2-2 that game.
Yeah.
I don't try and kind of, think about the next game. Although at Luton, they're not great. If we lose drop points to them, I'm sorry, outrageous, because they are horrible.
Liverpool did though.
I know, but Liverpool
dropped points to them.
But I know, but they did have 26 shots on target. So 26 shots, I think 14 on target or something ridiculous like that. So it's a double-edged sword in terms of my answer. But I will say we should go with the strongest team, just because that continuity as well that judges says as well. I think it's just good to kind of get a bit of familiarity again with those 6 kind of forward players that we've had for the last the last game. I think they've only played, 1 or 2 games?
That was the first game.
The first game. So I think getting Declan in there with those, the kind of attacking flying that we have, I think that's quite good. But yeah, for me, I don't know if we should be looking, too far past this game, because you got to play what's in front of you, and I think Luton will take care of itself, because they are horrible. They are woeful. I'm sorry. We should be beating them 3-4-0 quite easily.
Okay.
No, I completely agree with the 2 Lees, and like Lee said over there, I think we go with the exact same starting 11 that we had on Wednesday in this game. For me, I think Wolves are probably the bigger threat to us, and I feel like that's for that reason we don't rotate in this game. And like Lee said as well, we got Luton on Tuesday, not much of a threat. I know they got the result against Liverpool that they did.
You say not much of a threat, but I think
You've got to watch what you say, Frank. The Luton boys here.
But you say not much of a threat, right? But even though I kind of agree that we're supposed to go in that game and win, but it'll be a tough game.
I'm not saying it won't be tough.
It won't be. It won't be an easy game. Yeah. You think of a team like Luton, Arsenal coming to town. That's like a cup final. You can see that at Liverpool. So
yeah, maybe not much of a threat is a bit harsh, but regardless, even with a rotated team, we should be beating a team like Luton. So that's the reason I think you go full strength today and then rotate against Luton.
Their best player is Ross Barkley. I mean, I feel like that says everything about them. I'm sorry. Listen, I think. We're talking about today's game, which is Wolves, but if we do look past to the next game, they are. I mean, listen, no offence to Luton in the town.
I think you've offended them enough.
You
said about 10 times. I think you'll be welcome.
I'll tell you what. There's places in this world I'm not going to, and Luton ain't one of them. It is a shithole. I'll tell you that much. I know you live there as well, but
what's to live in Luton, man?
I mean, listen. You know what? That's why you don't live there no more, isn't it? So it makes sense, right? So listen, let's be real. Like, we are a very good team, and we should be able to rotate a few players and still beat.
I agree with that.
Wolves and the likes of Luton quite easily.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Wolves are the team that we're facing today, right? And Wolves, they do have threats. I mean, Hwang.
We're talking about looking ahead. These two are talking about Luton. We've not even got our
I'm trying to talk about the game, and I said I learned from my mistake with you.
But would you rotate?
No, I'd go strongest possible team as the manager sees fit. What I would say though, this is where I would maybe slightly differ to some of you guys. I would like to, obviously things are going well enough. I'd like to see some rotation on the subs bench. I'd like to see a couple of guys on the periphery of the team get some minutes today.
Like who?
You like Sir Reece Nelson, people like that.
What, from the beginning, or?
No, I'm saying play your strongest team. According to the way things are going, at some point we want to see some of the guys on the periphery get some minutes. Because I do think that your peripheral guys are going to have a big part to play as the season gets longer, you know what I mean? So why not introduce them now?
You can't underestimate Wolves. They've got some good players, as I said, Hwang has been very, very good for them this season. Cunha, as well as another top player. They bought on it. Remember, they beat. I know it was at Molineux, but they beat Tottenham.
Beat City as well.
And they beat Man City.
They've done us some favours. I've got no problems with Wolves. I actually quite like Wolves. You know what I mean? Like, good luck to them. I think they drew with Newcastle as well from my.
So they obviously get up for it when they got them sort of bigger teams.
They've done well. They've done well in those sort of games and all that.
Drew Villa as well.
I don't know if it's a controversial thing to say. I didn't think Lons were that bad on Wednesday. I think that we was really, really good. Like, they caused us a few problems. Caused Saliba a few problems. Wolves going to do that. That's the sort of level we've got to get to week in, week out, and hopefully Wolves won't be able to cope with us. And then, as what Laurie says, is then 20, 25 minutes from the end, start taking off your big guns, getting those players some minutes, and go from there. That's in an ideal world, Robbie. That is in an ideal world today. I don't think it's going to be quite as simple as that. I think it's going to be a real tough game. I think that they're going to defend well. I'll tell you the one thing about the Spurs game, I'll give them a lot of credit for. I know that they won the game, but they kept themselves in it at 1-0. They was 1-0 down, and they defended really, really, really well, and then built up momentum to nick those 2 goals at the end. So we're going to find it very, very hard to break them down. Listen, we haven't scored in the first 15 minutes
of any game
we did on
the Premier League.
We did at the weekend, so we did on Wednesday.
But we haven't in the Premier League. We've not scored in the first 15 minutes of any game.
if we get that early goal, like we did on Wednesday, then you can see what these guys can do, like, you know. So I think like first 15, 20 minutes, if we're not in front by then, you know, put your old tin hats on, strap up, it's going to be a tough game.
I mean, look, could be my famous last words, but I'm not that worried. I think more so, I can talk about all the things, but we did beat Lons 6-0. And I think the confidence from a lot of the players, that should carry us through. Jesus, he's got a great goal. We could talk about all the skill, but the finishing is something that we've lauded as a negative for him. That was a great finish. So that's another thing. You think about Saka, he looked quite good. We've been saying he's getting numbers, but he actually performed quite well in the game. Martinelli, again, he's not looked as good this season, but he did look good on the weekend. Odegaard, everybody's saying, oh, he's not as good as Maddison. I thought he looked fantastic on Tuesday, Wednesday, apologies. So for me, ultimately, I'm just looking at...
Missed out Kai Havertz, man.
What? No.
Don't forget.
I think Kai
Havertz getting us underway in that game.
I've not been on his back at all. But what I'm saying is, I think the players that we've known from last season, who have been kind of, talking about they're not performing how they were last season, they have all been, all been kind of shamed this season. Wednesday, they were fantastic, and Kai Havertz, I thought he was great as well. Nice bit of skill on the left hand side. So many good things I can say.
And I don't care what anybody says. And I've said it in a second, Jesus is such an influence on this team. It's 100%. Not just about his goals. He's the gel, he's the glue that brings everybody together. Like the way he plays, once he's top of his game fit, it's no surprise Arsenal were fantastic up until, funny enough, Wolves last season before the break, because he was pivotal to that. Then he got injured and we was not quite that free flowing.
He's also got a very good record against Wolves, actually.
He does, yeah.
He's got a very good record against Wolves.
He scored 6 goals against Wolves.
I remember when we played at Wolves last year, away from home, we were struggling a little bit, and it was a bit of magic from him that opened it up. I think Odegaard scored, but it was his magic. He unlocks the key. And the thing is now, if you're doubling up on Saka, you're doubling up on Martinelli, you know what I mean? You can't start doubling up on Jesus, because there's 6 players out of the game, so someone like a Havertz or a Odegaard is going to be like free. So that, I think, Jesus is so important to us.
Who starts right back or left back?
It's a good question.
Right back. Who you start right back?
Like I said, I'd go for exactly what we saw on Wednesday. For me, it's got to be Ben White and Tomiyasu. They played fantastically in that game as well for the half that they did play. So I think that's the two.
That's what you start with, because we actually started with Zinchenko and...
Sorry, not Tomiyasu. Zinchenko on the left, Ben White at right back. That's what I'd go for.
You start with that?
No, I think Tomiyasu's done enough to maintain his place in the team. So
with Tomiyasu, what?
Tomiyasu right back and Zinchenko left back. So I go.
You?
Ben White's my favourite Arsenal player, so I'm putting him in 100%.
I thought it was Eddie.
Wait, so right back. Ben White
right back, and Tomiyasu left back.
What about you?
No, I'm with Lee. I'm a big Ben White fan, but I think Tomiyasu has been playing really well and has forced his way into this team at this moment. And I think that Ben White, because of the injuries, just got to be a little bit more patient. I think they rotate. Whoever plays today will not play on Tuesday. But I think Tomiyasu, when you think about it, those 2 players come off at half time, it'd be a little bit harsh to say to Tomiyasu, right, I'm leaving you off at half time and then I'm not going to play you.
The reason why I would probably say, and again, you can say it either way, the reason why I would play Ben White right back, because I just think he plays better with Saka. And I think you're going to need to go round, have a lot of width.
That's a good point.
Cross the balls in. Listen, as well as Tomiyasu is, we're nitpicking here, but I do think that Ben White's a better crosser of the ball. And when you're trying to find those, pinpoint crosses against the 2 centre-backs that Wolves have, they're big, powerful men. You need to find them, and he can drill them, and he can cross them in.
I'd probably, me thinking of it, I'm thinking, I probably start with what he did the other night, right? Because Ben White's been sort of coming back from an injury, very important player. We want to get him back 100%. So I'd probably go Ben White, and I thought Zinchenko had a very good game the other night as well. So I'd probably go Zinchenko in it. But then come Tuesday, where you're up against a more big physical team, that's when I bring Ben White back in, but then put Tomiyasu out on the left back position. But that's what I go.
I think Tomiyasu's been outstanding recently, and he's just signed that new contract, or we're led to believe he's about to. So reward him, man.
Yeah,
it's a meritocracy.
I think he's forced his way into his place. I think he's a perfect example to other players as well, because he's played, been left out, played, then left out, but then he's had a little run and he's forced his way, like, you know. And I think,
Yeah,
like,
you have to reward guys that are doing
Yeah,
this.
I
El
believe
Nikos says must be 6 points from the next two to set up for the hard run
Yes,
to come
totally
after.
agree.
Which
Minimum.
Of course, is
Minimum.
Villa,
Minimum.
Brighton.
Just to add, it will be 6 points.
Right.
I like the
I
confidence.
like that, Lee.
It will be 6 points.
Okay.
100%.
I'm getting good vibes
Villa.
off you today, mate.
Listen, mate, I tell you what, like, you're sitting on my side, you're sitting on your side, whatever it
I'll
is.
be coming for you if you ain't.
I tell you what.
Everybody said start with the same team, right? So has Kai Havertz then earned his position in the starting lineup for the first time this season?
100%.
Well, theoretically, he's earned his position because he cost £65 million.
Well, no, that don't earn you your position.
No, it does, because ultimately he's going to try and prove his point of
No,
trying
but that
to-
doesn't earn
It
you.
does.
I mean about that.
For Arteta, it does.
You'd say to yourself, you should be starting when you cost that amount of money, but you have to earn your position. Now, has he earned his position for the first time this season?
I still think, listen, I think he's been good, so I haven't got a problem with him playing. I've not been on his back as harsh as everybody else, but I do think whether he was playing well or not, he would have started because he cost £65 million.
Well, to me, that should have nothing to do with it.
Well, that's what Arteta does. We've seen it.
Listen, Robbie, you've got to tell. I listened to his press conference yesterday, Mikel. What, you know what I mean? Like, I'll say, like, I'm going to have to start switching him off, like, you know what I mean? But he turned around and said, "This is what you do when you give a player confidence and you back him and everything like that." Well, you're doing exactly that for Kyle Havertz. You've certainly not done that with some other
There you
players
go.
in the
There you
team,
go.
like, you know what I mean? Why is he doing that for him? Because he spent the 65 million on
There
him.
you go.
I think there is something in that. But do I think he deserves his place in the team? So yes, I mean, he come on and won the game for us against Brentford. If you don't
And he
play
got
him
the-
now,
and he got
he
the first
scored,
goal the other
he got
night.
the first goal yesterday and played well. If you've got somebody that's been struggling a little bit, well, let's make it out he has been struggling a little bit, like, but now he's at confidence and he's playing really well. Why would you leave him out of the team now, like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's a definite start for me. I'll give him the captaincy as well. Like.
Wow.
Is that for the first time this season? Has he earned that?
No, absolutely. And look, I've been one of the people, especially, I'm pretty sure all of us on the panel have been fairly critical of him at times. He's the only player so far this season that's played every single game that we've played so far. And up to maybe the Brentford game, it's not necessarily for me been justified. But over these last few games, he came on against Brentford, won us the game, got the first goal in the game against Lens, played fantastically throughout that game as well. So I think from here we can say that he's justified starting today if that is to be the case. And I'm just hoping, obviously, you know, the confidence is clearly coming through. I think the fans are starting to get behind him a bit more now. So if he starts today, carries that on, I've got no problem with him starting.
Yeah, the short answer to that question is yes, he should start today, but I do agree with the likes of lead judges there. I mean, it's the manager's going to play him regardless. I mean, if you see when he scored that goal against Brentford,
No, that's not the question, though. I
answered the question. I answered the question.
I'm asking. Listen, it's not about a manager now. I must say, he earned. There's a lot of fans, right, this season would be like, why is he starting? What's he done?
Robert,
I'm
I
saying
did
it's
say
for
the short answer to your question is yes.
Well, just say that then. You keep going on about it.
We've got a family feud going on here.
Hang on, let me just finish. Right. The reason why I agree with Lee, because it's a very good point. The manager's going to play him regardless. When he scored the goal against Brentford, look at the manager's reaction after the game.
Okay.
He celebrated that goal harder than Havertz.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Did he start against Brentford?
Yeah, but he deserved his place. He came
But
on.
did he start? I'm asking the question: has he earned his position?
He's
for the
earned
first
his
time this
position.
season? Because he
And
didn't
he
actually.
has answered it. He said yes.
No. Because he's saying because the manager will start him anyway. He didn't against Brentford.
He's
He didn't-
gonna start him
he didn't-
today.
Yeah, I know. He didn't start against Brentford. So that's what I'm saying. And he didn't start the previous game to that either.
Right, okay.
So now I'm saying, has he finally now earned it? Where you look on it and say, where fans are looking at it and say, right, Havertz starts.
Not
You know what I mean?
necessarily.
Because it's not
I don't
always
think-
been that way this
I
season.
don't
That's
think-
why the question's
I don't
being
think
asked.
that he's in that on that boat yet. You know, if I'll be honest, there's certain players that have got that right. I think, like, you know, Ben White hasn't got that right no more because of what's going on. Saliba definitely has. Gabriel has. Gabriel was left out at the beginning of the season, don't forget, but he's now back on the Mikel Arteta favourite Christmas present list. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Good list.
He'd be in Santa's sack. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't think you could say the same with Zinchenko. I don't think he's a guaranteed starter now. Like, you know what I mean. So and I don't think that that Kai Havertz is in that mould at this moment in time. But do I think he deserves to be playing over the last few? Listen, I think when you think about it, Man City, come on, I think contributed in that game. You know what I mean? To win us that game, you know. I think at Newcastle, we got a big criticism for that. I thought he had a very, very good game at Newcastle, like, you know, put himself about. And I think the last few games there has been a definite up in him.
But those games that you described there, because that's what, again, why the question is being asked is he a better at the moment, kind of almost like an impact player, or is he better from the start? Now, from the start the other night, he played well. He got the first goal, which got us going in a game that we had to win, and that was the all-important first goal, which then we just kicked
what was
off.
all that about? What was all that about?
Well, that's his celebration, isn't it?
Is it? Well, we haven't seen that a lot, have we?
Christmas celebration, you know, reindeer.
Oh, is that what it was? Very good, Kai. Very good.
It better not be, I tell you.
It was in November, shockingly. You know what I mean?
What about Saka then? Is he back to his best? Because
that's a great question.
Saka, who it's kind of annoyed me this season when I've heard people saying he's not playing well, and you look at his stats. His stats have been unbelievable this season, right? He may not be spinning past 10 players and that, but he's so effective in his play. Last week, the assist for that winning goal, and he put in a couple of crosses like that previous to that. Nobody really gambled on the end of it, right? Is he back to his best for you?
I think two things can be true though. You can still not be playing well but affect games.
Completely
You think
agree.
about Haaland. Haaland can go a whole game, 4 touches, but get a goal. So is he playing well? Is he contributing to the whole game?
Yes,
for
he's
the whole
playing well.
90. What I'm saying, for 90 minutes, is he contributing to everything? No. But is he playing well? I mean, so is he contributing to the game effectively to get the result? Yes. So listen, I don't think he's been scintillating. I don't think he's been amazing throughout many of the games. But he's got what is it? 19 goals and assists this season, or 17 goals and assists.
Well, he's got 9. I was looking at the stat. 9
goals and assists.
9 goals and assists. But more importantly, they've been worth 9 points. You know what I mean? So like that shows how effective they are. And we said we got that assist last week for the winning goal by Havertz. He's effective. Like he even was saying in an interview that nowadays every time he plays a game, he's doubled, even trebled up.
Yeah.
So so you're maybe not going to see him sprint past
but I don't
the
think
whole
he's,
team, but he's still delivering.
That doesn't mean he's playing poorly though.
No,
he hasn't been playing poorly.
differently.
He's got to find a way, as everyone knows.
Or is it a different Saka that we have to see
exactly
this
that.
season?
I think he's just finding a different way, to navigate through 90 minutes.
I think what that speaks to is the fact that even though he's not playing out of his skin or scintillating football, the numbers he's posted in terms of goals and assists suggest to you that he will still impact games. So he's one of those players, he's virtually undroppable. I say virtually because everyone's droppable if they don't perform. But the reason why the manager will continue to persist with him, I would have thought, is because at any given moment he can provide a moment of magic that will either
100%.
get you a goal, assist, or something like that. So,
and this is where stats do my brains in, like, when people go, stats this and stats that. Saka's been nowhere near at the level he has been last season as far as performances are concerned, but he's still turning out performances, like stats.
Yeah, I think those stats can be important in this aspect though, because sometimes you see. I think when it comes to wingers, sometimes stats can be important, right? Because
you've got to have an end product.
You'll see wingers and they look scintillating within a game. They
don't have no end
We used to
product.
see it a lot with as we're talking about Wolves, Adama Traore.
Yeah,
St. Maximin as well.
St. Maximin looks scintillating.
well, I've heard people look at scrutinising Doku's performance. Now, I personally think Doku's a hell of a player.
Yeah, but they look scintillating. They look scintillating, but
there's
sometimes
no end product.
There's no end product. Where's the assists? Where's the goals? You know what I mean? So, you're looking exciting, but a winger is supposed to
deliver.
Deliver. That is literally it. Yeah, you've got to deliver in
and
that
Saka
position.
does. You know what I mean? Like,
Great
I
scene.
thought he was
Got a few
awful
points
against
on
Brentford. If I've been really honest, I think he was awful against Brentford, and I'm pretty sure there's lots of
Awful?
people.
No,
I think for 8
Saka?
minutes. I didn't think he was great.
I disagree because Saka put that ball that he put into the box. He put 2 like that into the box previously, and nobody gambled and got on the end of it.
I didn't think he was great, but there was probably people going, why did you keep him on? The reason you keep him on is because in that last 10 minutes...
Literally, make nothing, something
he
out of
made
nothing.
something out of
literally.
nothing.
I'll tell you another game. Even look, you go back to that Spurs game. I didn't think he was great. He was at fault for one of the goals, well, partially at fault for one of the goals, the Maddison where he crossed it in. I think he also didn't take on Udogie after the red-yellow card.
Yeah.
He didn't attack him. He didn't, make Udogie make any more decisions to say, you know what, I'm going to get him sent off. But he got a great first goal, and didn't he get an assist for the second goal?
Got an assist as well,
So for me, look, you can say that he's been so good and effective numbers-wise, but what we saw from him last season, I thought he was absolutely out of this world, not only numbers-wise, but performance-wise. But this season, his numbers are just looking like Mane's, Salah when they first kind of
I think it speaks a lot to his ability though, because obviously while we're saying this, obviously we don't feel like we're seeing the same Bukayo Saka that we have over the last few seasons, and he's still getting the numbers. Can you imagine the numbers that we're looking at if he starts to push on from here?
Exactly.
I'll tell you what it is as well, right? Just very quickly. I used to manage a Sunday league side, right? And
Would you get
one or
sacked?
two players. No,
First manager to get sacked from a Sunday
I
league
got us
side.
promoted. So, just very quickly, there was a couple of players in that team that were recognised as our so-called better players. And so what you would do, even though those guys may not have been firing every game, you were very reluctant to drop them because you know that any given moment, they will provide you with that little bit of skill ability that can turn a game. And I think that's the same with Saka.
Yeah, and also I've got to say this, we're not criticising Saka, we're just saying. Also, I watched, who I watched last week? Aston Villa, Tottenham.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Diaby.
The Tottenham player, Kulusevski, he was up against the left back.
Matty Cash.
Only once, one player on him all the time, and he was doing stuff. But at the end of it, it weren't no end product. What I'm saying is with Saka, he has two players on him every single game. And he'll have two on him today, but still, at some stage...
Still finds a way.
He finds a way. So,
He still finds a way. And that's the good thing about him, because he's been able to adapt his game.
Yes. And he's only 21, 22 this month. I think.
Maybe last year or the year before when he came in, when they're doing their tactics, they go, we can leave him one-on-one. We got him. This year they recognise that we got to double up on him, but he's still finding a way to produce. So it may not be, it may not be that he's able to do those dashing runs and that as much, but he's still effective in his play. We're about 3 minutes away from knowing what the starting 11 is going to be in the game today, and as I said, very important game because the other teams are. The sort of teams.
Well, we're
that
top
are
of
right
the
at top
table.
there.
We have to, in order to.
You're all playing tomorrow.
It's a no-brainer, but if we're going to stay top of the table, we have to win all our games.
It's almost the complete opposite to what we saw last week, where we was the team that was chasing afterwards. So I think it helps us the fact that we're playing first, that we can, go into a position.
Yeah, I
where
think there's a little bit more pressure on that last week.
Do you think? I think it's the other way around.
I think there was a bit of pressure on that last week, knowing that them two had drawn.
So we have to get the result.
And I thought, we've got to get the result now. But today, there's anything can go on. Now, you just concentrate on what you're doing. But I was thinking, I don't know if the players are thinking that, but as a fan, I'm sort of after 70 minutes going, we're going to mess up here. You know what I mean?
It's an interesting scenario, though. Would you rather be top, or would you rather be just tucked in behind chasing?
Rather be top. That's how you win the league.
That's how you win.
No, but obviously.
Sounds like Michael.
So, how did you get promotion? Was you did you come from behind?
Obviously,
He was manager of the Water Boys.
obviously, you guys.
Promotion years.
That's what he was meant to say.
Obviously, you guys
the
weren't
Water Boys
watching
promoted.
last season when what happened. We were leading for the majority of the season. City tucked in behind us. What happened? So.
Yeah, there's that. But I'd rather have 4 points on Man City at any given stage.
Super chat from Francis says, best wingers like Salah, Mbappe and co don't waste energy looking fluid for fans. They win games. Saka is evolving to the highest level.
He's up there with them now. I don't care what anybody says.
I'm glad we've got to this. So would you say he's at the world-class stage at this point?
I think he's bordering on it.
You know what I will say, right?
I think
I'm adamant he's there.
I think he's put. I think that for me now, he's putting in the performances at international level. You can't argue that. He's putting performances in at Premier League level, and he's putting performances in Champions League level. So when do you actually say that he isn't or he is?
I think he's world class, but I
Definitely.
think Mbappe is.
Yeah, they're through the door. He's at the door.
Listen, I mean, look, we can talk about Martinelli, Saka, and all these, but I have to hold my hands up. I just think Rice is.
Don't
just
have to hold your hand.
Rice is certified for me.
Okay, got the team.
And that's clear.
We have the team. So this is a team to
Ramsdale,
face
come on, Robin, make my
Wolverhampton
day.
Wanderers
Make my
today.
day.
It's not Ramsdale.
It's silly.
Right.
It's not what I meant.
Raya in goal. Hold on, let me just go. Another one's coming through now. All right, let me go back to the one I had. Raya in goal. Tomiyasu, Saliba, Gabriel, and Zinchenko. Rice, Trossard, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus. So your theory about £65 million means an automatic start.
Is he on the bench? Because
he's discounted.
No,
right?
but hang on, I didn't say
Havertz
automatic.
is on the bench.
Wow. You're
The bench is
misrepresenting my words.
Havertz, Nketiah, Nelson, El Neni, Jorginho, Kivior, Cedric, White, and Ramsdale. That is the bench.
That's
so he
surprising.
hasn't gone with Kai Havertz, despite Kai Havertz playing the whole game the other night.
So the one time that he's probably deserved his starting place in the team,
He hasn't got it.
He's put it on the bench.
He hasn't got it.
I did not say automatic. I said, me and Lee both said, based on
You're bringing Lee in it now.
Okay, all right, I said.
Don't bring me in your promotion track.
Go back and check the record. I think you'll find I said that based on the previous two
I'm with you, I'm
performances, he
shocked by
deserves it.
I'm
Listen,
shocked
if
by
the
it.
man just gone Trossard, then fine, because Trossard's been playing well as well.
Rotation,
recently.
isn't it?
That's a bad thing, though.
No,
because
it's not.
Trossard, we should probably.
I've got no big problem with it.
Maybe he thinks, maybe he's looking at it and thinking that they need, because they're going to play like these blocks and all that, a little bit more trickery instead of a little driving and all that. Maybe it's
Maybe he's looking at it like I said that I mean if you look at Havertz, his impact off the bench has been superb. Maybe he's looking like it that way, and
maybe
just
Trossard,
and he's just rotating.
Maybe to add to your point, maybe Luton might be a bit of a better game, taller players, a bit rough and ready.
Physicality.
You never know. Like you never know. Like
I'm going to be really. I'm shocked by it.
I am shocked.
I'm surprised.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Surprised, I'm not shocked.
You're not shocked.
No.
But based off of what you were saying,
I said, listen, I said I think he deserves it.
He's not letting this go, is he?
He's not. I said I
Did
think
he
he
get extra
deserves it.
toys than you at Christmas or something? What's going on here?
That's funny. It's just ironic that after all that, you know what I mean, he's
He
not.
said that I used the words automatic selection. I did not
I am
use those
shocked.
words.
Though. I
at all.
am shocked. I thought. Look.
What about you, Robbie? You surprised, mate?
Not necessarily, because I just think that, as I said, if you actually look at that game last week at Brentford, he come off the bench. And I do think there's a bit of rotations gone on there. I think that he's probably, what you just said, Gunnar, right? He's probably looking at it and thinking, right, I'll start Havertz on Tuesday night. Luton, a bit more physical.
Yeah, because it's a good point.
They need a bit more height in there and that. Whereas Wolves are not really that side. They're not that physical side, are they? They're a football playing team, aren't they?
Do you think though, maybe, you know what Arteta's like, he likes to throw the cat amongst the pigeons, so maybe he's like, you know what, don't rest on your laurels. You've been playing well the last two games, you've made a difference in the last two games. I know it could be the easy decision to just put you straight in and hopefully that you're effective. You played well against Lens. Now you're going to come back out of the team. You've got to show a bit more, like give you that bit of. You never know.
Just on the Kai Havertz thing as well. I think I've just found out as well that he's on 4 yellow cards as well. So maybe he's thought that obviously if he gets a booking today, he misses the game midweek against Luton. So maybe he's potentially resting him for that.
Maybe, but then he could get that yellow card. And then
He could still get it, but it definitely narrows the chance to get that yellow card. So that could be something
that could be a factor, though.
I did say as well that at the end of the day, it's a squad game. Rotation is needed, it's required, because there are players who are not playing every week that need to get minutes with injuries, loss of form, all the rest of it. It's important to keep everyone involved as much as you can. So listen, I'm not shocked.
The Wolverhampton Wanderers team is Sar Semedo, Dawson, who's back from injury. No, was it suspension? But Dawson's back into the team. He weren't playing during the week. Kilman, Totti, Bueno, Doyle, Traore, Bellegarde, Wang and Kuna. That is their team. And on the bench they've got Bentley, Doherty, Bueno, Silva, Klalovic. He's the one who's nearly about 7 foot tall. He's a big guy, he is, right? That's making up some of their bench. So Wolves, as we know, missing a couple of Lamina's a big miss for them in the middle of the park, but that is their side.
I really rate him, but
yeah, he's good.
I think he's a good player.
He is a good player. This one coming here from Dylan DW says,
I'll take him.
how would you lot feel with Tommy at left back and Zinni in the number 8 role? Would love to hear James's opinion on that. Big up to everyone. There's a lot of James has been saying for a long time that he sees Zinchenko as a midfield player. Does play in the midfield when he's playing for the Ukraine as well. And Crypto Dino says you're not going to see the same Saka as he has to adapt. He's getting kicked and triple teamed, yet the end product is even better, right? So that's what he's saying. So that's the team. Are we happy?
I'm happy, yes.
I mean, look, I think you like all the players, so I think you're not unhappy if Trossard comes in because he can take long shots, he gets crucial goals, similar to the Chelsea away game, the first goal, or was it the second goal? No, it was the second goal. So yeah, look, I don't think there's any problem with him. I just thought that it would have been a perfect game for Havertz to play. So yeah.
I say I'm happy, but I'm not happy in a way because I think when you win 6-0. I think you keep the same team.
If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
It's only one adjustment, isn't it?
I know it's one adjustment, but 6-0. Listen, Trossard doesn't deserve to be left out of this team. I think he deserves where he plays is an argument. But
and he'll be playing, no doubt, he'll be sort of playing that midfield role.
Yeah, he'll be playing that midfield role today. But I just think 6-0. I'd like to see the same side. But listen. I don't think Trossard is any worse or any better. So
I think we can all agree that team today should have enough to beat Wolves, and 100%. That's no disrespect to Wolves, but that is the facts.
Oh, 100%.
That team should have enough to beat Wolves at home
and Luton away.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get predictions. Predictions.
2-0.
3-0. 3-0.
I went 3-1 when we did the preview show. I'm going to stick with that.
I'm also going to say 3-1.
I'm going 2-0 as well. Let me just remind people of the Arsenal team again. It's Raya in goal, Tomiyasu, Saliba, Gabriel and Zinchenko, Declan Rice, Leandro Trossard, Martin Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus. And on the bench is Ramsdale, White, Cedric, Jakob Kivior, Jorginho, El Neni, Nelson, Havertz and Eddie Nketiah. Right.
Big up Cedric, still at the club.
Yeah. Doing well. Getting,
don't have
to pay for his tickets, does he? He's doing all right.
Treadmill's never been busier.
Has he been at all this year? Has he had
paid
any
supporter in the club.
Has Cedric had any minutes?
I don't think
he come on in the League Cup game, didn't he, at Brentford, did he?
Did he?
Yeah, he might have done. Big G says Leo starting is awesome. 100% agree with the manager. Leo needs a run of games. We should not overreact to Lallon's game. This is a tough game. Definitely going to be a tough game, but if Arsenal can win this game, they can move 4 points clear of the pack. So big game for Arsenal. Don't forget to check it out here on AFTV. We've got the watch along coming up, so make sure you check that out. We're also going to be at the game. We'll be talking to fans afterwards and getting their opinions on what they made of the result. And of course, you guys can get involved by joining us on FANZONE. You can either download the app, there's going to be a link in the description, or today you can just click a link and come straight through to the show afterwards and have your very own fan cam wherever you are in the world. That's straight after the game. So make sure you get involved in that on the full-time show. But thank you, Lee. Thank you, Lee. Double Lees.
Yes, sir, mate.
Thank you, Frank, and thank you, Laurie. And thank you to you guys for watching. The big game today coming up. Arsenal versus Wolves at the Emirates. 3 p.m. kickoff UK time. Looking forward to it. And we need those 3 points.